Welcome to craft time. Hey, how you doing? I'm sleepy, like really, really tired. Wow. I needed some good sleep. I didn't sleep good last night. I don't know why. I just could not get settled. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm just setting up. I'm just using my phone nowadays. It's just easier because I don't know why the computer version isn't liking me. I use Chrome for a browser, which I don't really like Chrome, but it generally works the best with Facebook Live, but I don't know. Anyway, hi. Hey Elaine, thanks for watching. Hi. I'm pretty tired tonight. I just have like low energy, but that's okay. Figure I just still come on for a bit. So I showed last night what's left over of these envelope bases that I have piled up, and I'm debating whether or not to go with what. I was drawn to this because I did look this up. The colors that went with that kit was Lost Lagoon, Pool Party, and then of course the beachy colors. And I'm back and forth on I'll just go with this because my mind is on this for some reason. I'm looking for my paper trimmer. So I think this time I am intending not to be on for too long. I'm just beat. I'm exhausted. I could get my butt to bed pretty early. Not too early, but early enough to try to get some rest. Nothing crazy or weird today, just exhausted. Just, still going with the work project and tired. So it's been quite an adventure at that place. Actually, I might get more than one card out of this because it's the whole envelope base that is done up. So let's find out. So let's just get this sliced up and then we'll see how many pieces we can get out of it. And that'll give me an idea of what I might make. Because I'm definitely going to use Lost Lagoon on this one way or another. So there's that piece. Then this next is the 1 inch. And then the next is 1 1/4. I could do 1 inch because, no, I'll just do 1 1/4. I don't mind that it's got a little bit of a line in it from the fold of the envelope. It just creates some character, personally, with that set. That's just my opinion. It would help to put them in order, but I'm not. And then let's try another set again. So 1 1/4. And I gotta cut them down to 5 inches short, but just at least get the strips done up. 1 inch. And then 1 1/4. And then we're good there. So that leaves not enough to do a third, and that's fine. So this leftover piece is going to go into my scrap bin. So the next step is slice up to get the 5 inch. I'm just going to put the other scraps over. Some of them anyway. And another 5 inch. Then I gotta figure out what colors to go with this thing. So definitely Lost Lagoon. Now, in terms of inks that I have, I don't have all the colors. I don't have crumb cake, but I'm going to look in my box in a short at the little paper pumpkin inks. See if there's something there that can really help with this project. I might have something. I might not, but if I don't look, I don't know. So there's 5 inch. Because the ink might help me determine what direction to go with this one. So we shall see. I'm getting distracted. The joys of being sleepy, eh? It's been a long week and a half, almost. And like today, my partner and I were like, it's only Tuesday. It's like, it's only Tuesday. So we splurged tonight, even though I should be splurging right now. But I'm like, oh, I'm splurging anyway. I went to Cobb's Bakery, picked up a scone for each of us, and then a muffin to have. I've had it before, I liked it, but I just want him to try it, and it was really good. And then I come home, and most of us do the Facebook scroll, which a lot of us do. So at one point, I was scrolling, and my neighbor next door, the neighbor that way, literally, she was cooking tonight, or something. she made a casserole, and it looked really good actually. So because I commented in the video, I'm like, that looks really good. She offered us some. So we have a container in the fridge right now. So she offered us a nice container, nicely full. Nothing big, but enough to try. And it was still warm because we just finished our dinner when she offered it. So we went and grabbed it from her and then brought it in. We opened it up, took a couple bites of it. Oh my God, it's good. Really creamy, but in a sweet way. I'll share the recipe. You know what? Oh, I got my phone in progress here. Remind me to share the recipe because I'm not going to remember. That's how tired I am. Literally, I'm that tired. All right, so I know I have Lost Lagoon ink. And I have these in order of what the colors are. Now, yes, I store them upside down for a reason. And I also put a sticker on the back because I know what they are. That way, if I ever get into a big crafting fest, I know what color it is. Because otherwise, if I take that away, what color is that? I don't know. So, a little neat trick that I do. And I heard that storing them upside down keeps the sponge part ink pretty good. But I don't know. I just get to a habit of storing them upside down. So that is most of the colors. Now the colors I'm looking for, potentially, are in the second box. And I've decorated these old paper pumpkin kits with designer series paper. So it appears I don't have much options for ink. I got Cajun Craze. That's not going to do. More night. So the ones that are not labeled, they're brand new. I've never opened them up. And I just left them as is. Gray Granite. Ooh, Gray Granite. That's why that way I know which ones have been opened. Soft Suede went for a flip. That one actually is open, but something happened to it. I got to fix the label on it. That's why it looks like a mess. Yeah. And then Shaded Spruce, I have a new one there. So, yeah, it looks like I don't have Wild Wheat or Crumb Cake. I couldn't remember the name of it. Oh my goodness. And now, of course, I keep my black ink and my Versamark in here because this tends to be, when I do a trailer class, I end up taking the 2 boxes with me. That way, hey, someone wants a red. Okay, I have a red, a green, or whatever. And it's useful for doing the vendor events. Although my next upcoming events, I'm not going to be using all the inks. I'm just going to grab a selection for the next vendor events. Okay, so Lost Lagoon is winning. It seems like. But I still need another color to go with it. Just to break it up a bit. And I do have Crumb Cake cardstock. I'll grab that in a moment. I don't want to use it. Hey Laura, thanks for tuning in as well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use I'll use Crumb Cake. I can order some more. It's just, I'm looking at, for my 2 vendor events for the make and take. I'm back and forth between Crumb Cake and Very Vanilla for the sweetest star, almost like cookies, the hole punch, almost like a cookie with the stamping. So I think Crumb Cake was going to work, but you know what? I might just do vanilla, as I have a lot more vanilla in various forms. Alright, so then I got, I'm going to need 2 of those, duh. That's when you know I'm tired. If I cannot focus. It's just, I wish I had another color of ink. I'm not up to date on the ink colors. I wish I was for purchasing. Aw. So something you can do about the spots. There's 2 things you can do. Is if you're waiting to order the refill, but you need to use a little bit of ink for a tiny bit, 1 drop of water will help moisten it up again. And I've done that a lot, but only like 1 drop, and be very limited with it. Don't put like a big drop because it'll just put ink everywhere. But that's been a useful technique that I've done. And then once I get the ink refill, I know this is not the color, but I just put like a couple drops of the refill and it helps. So I'm really getting into utilizing these a lot more. Yes, I used to throw out the dried out ones, but now I'm like, no, I'm going to keep them. Okay. So Lost Lagoon for sure. And I gotta find my crumb cake, which might be hidden or not. There it is. Crumb cake. Yeah, I'll go with crumb cake. Alrighty. I don't want to, I'll go with it. I like the color though. Alright. And oh yeah, I'm doing 2 cards, so even better. Help if I'm paying attention. You can tell I'm really that tired tonight. I'll probably do some of the prep and then call it a night because life is life. Life is good, it's just life is busy. Because I'm starting to think about 2025 and what my goals as a Stampin' Up! Demo and what I plan to do. These were done. Oh yeah? Wow. Yeah, it makes sense. And I personally, I don't like the sponges and the little guys versus the big pads. If you notice, Elaine and others, and everybody else who has used Stampin' Up! Inks, it's not the same sponge. So, it's different. I mean, maybe in a good way. I don't know. But it's definitely a different ink pad, how they're made. So I got my 2 Lost Lagoons. I'm going to pull out some crumb cake. I'm going to bring back the paper trimmer, which I put away. Of course I did. Alright, and then just for simplicity, I'm going to cut it 5.5. That way, this piece goes back in the package. That way, if I need a card base, it's already the perfect size, ready to go. Versus if it's unusual size and I go to use it, my card's going to be skewed because it's going to be the wrong size. Alright, and then from there, I'm going to cut 5 1/4, a little strip off the side, boom, and then flip to the side, and then 4" and 4", and then there's our panel. And then I'll have to see what colors I have in pencils to make this work. We'll see. Like, I don't know the type of sponge it is for the inks. I have one of the ink pads here. Not the color I want to use tonight, but just as a different. So this is, I think, Retired Cinnamon Cider. I must have used it recently for something. But when you open it up, it kind of shines. It's a different sponge than this little guy. And I got things slide. But another way to tell is this little guy, you can't see it quite well on camera, but those who have used these, there's like little strings coming off the edge. I've got one like right there. Versus this, I don't have any strings of fabric sticking out of it. And if you look closely, it's like a different, I guess for lack of a term, fabric. I know camera you can't tell, but if you have both, take a look at it. So it's a very different sponge. I just don't know the type. I just wish they're made more like that. Not so much the size, but the little sponge. I think they're really cool. But I don't know. I'm just a demo. Okay, so I've got those. And then I'm going to do some stamping. I don't have my, speaking of sponge, I don't have a sponge ready. So here's my very well loved sponge. Alright, let's get that prepped. I'm going to use the Lost Lagoon because it's the color. It's one of my favorite Stampin' Up! Colors, actually. It's a color I never thought I would love until I bought it and did some crafting with it. And I'm like, I love this color. I'm not big on it. Alright, so I soaked the sponge a little. I have a second one in there, but I'll just use this one. It's good enough. Enough to moisten it a little better. Alright, and then my stamp set of the month. So I posted to our team Facebook group asking if anyone, I wrote a kind of bit of a lengthy post talking about this, but I don't think anyone either has it or willing to part with it, so it is what it is. But you know what? We're going to keep an eye out for this guy, this Genuine Gems, because the next time I go to a vendor sale, I'm probably going to ask, be like, hey, does anyone have this stamp? Because I'm hearing really good things about it. It's become one of my go-tos, go figure. And I think some people might actually really be interested in it, so. So now we're going to tell the universe to send some awesome your way. I'm really loving this stamp. Okay, make sure I got Lost Lagoon. Make sure I have the right ink. Because I am that sleepy that I could literally stamp with the wrong color. And it'll still be a good card, but or just do another one. Another thing is the big ink pads are more spongy. Like it has more of a softness to it versus this. I don't feel that softness. So I've seen a lot of new stampies. Wow, I don't have my words. I've seen people like smash the stamp right into the ink, and because it has such a softness to it, it just makes ink explode everywhere. So, and because this is a small ink pad, I'm just giving a really good generous amount of ink, maybe too much, but you know what? When it comes to some types of ink, you need more. Unless it's overfilling with ink inside the little reservoir, and then it's like, yeah, not a good idea. Either way, there's one. I think it's a little weak, actually. I might need to put a drop on this one. I have the refill for this color, actually. Because this has become one of my favorite Stampin' Up! Colors. Fresh Freesia is another one I really, really love. Gorgeous Grape is really nice. I love purple, but for some reason that one, I don't know. It's like, it's too much purple, I guess. If that makes any sense. I don't know. Alright. Now let's stamp this one. And then we gotta do the paw prints. And I'm just gonna do the paw prints in Lost Lagoon because I don't know what color to do them in. There we go. That looks a little better than the first one. And then clean my stamp. And I actually put on my to-do list to clean my bucket because I can feel it feels yucky, and I'm like, I gotta get around to it. So a lot of what I do behind the scenes is when I have a task that needs to be completed, I have to put it into my to-do list, or else I don't do it. And then the last few weeks, I've been horrible with getting to my to-do list. Like, say for tonight, I'm not getting to any of it tonight because just too much life. But yeah, but I'm working towards, once I settle into the new job routine, is find a way of scheduling for myself. It could be a half hour a night just to work on the business side of my Stampin' Up! It's not so much the crafting side, the business side, like prepare mail, social media posts, social handshake as I call some of it, because I really need to get to that. And I'm finding I'm not getting there, and I'm starting to see the impact of I need to be on the ball to be able to do what I want to do. There, so that one's been stamped with the Lost. Yeah, definitely I can see. Fine, this is a cheaper stamp from an unknown source, but I can see it is going to need a refill, and I'm going to do that shortly. So I've got some ink on there, and it's okay if it's not perfect. And then just because the last one I do off the edge of the page, there we go. Alright, I'm going to cap that for the moment, and I'm going to grab my refill bottle in a sec. I have it up on the shelf. There we go. And I just put like one or a couple drops, if at best, when I do the refill. Hi. Yes, my shirt says snuggle, or I think it does. Because I definitely need a snuggle right now. Alright, I just make sure my bottles, most of my bottles go back up. I still got the black one out, but I'll just leave it out. Okay. So then the next step is really take the ink refill bottle, which this one I haven't used much, but it looks of it. I still got a good generous amount in there. You can see my hand's a little red, eh? I've noticed that since my hand burned, that I occasionally get a little bit of redness if I'm sweating or doing something. So then I just take this and I just put 4 drops, and that's good enough. I purposely used as little ink as possible because I can always add more. I can't take away so much. So there we go. And then because I've inked it, I'm going to leave it right side up for the night. That way, come tomorrow, I'll probably flip it back over and then we're done. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to assemble some of the card and then I'm going to call it a night because I need to get some rest. It's been busy. It's like, hey, I enjoy doing craft time. Oh, it's already 20 minutes in. Oh my god. Yep. All right, so let's get these card bases folded and then we'll do a little bit of assembly. Then I'll just probably plan out the colors for the lettering. And then that'll be it. We'll have to see what... I might substitute some colors for some other colors. We'll see. So that's kind of going with the layout. Alright. So let's bring these in. Now I like putting that imperfection on the left hand side. I don't know why, I just do. And then if I'm with it, I can actually match up the pattern. Woohoo, that one matches. And then I'll probably try to do the same thing here. Let's see if I can figure it out. That looks pretty good. And then how does it go here? It looks like it. Now, even though these are all going to get covered by the phrase, but in case someone, I mean, I actually wonder if when people receive a card, do they rip it apart to see how it's made? Has anybody ever done that? I've done a not fully rip it apart, but I'll try to kind of gently tear at it to see, well, how do they make it? Or at least I've thought about doing that. Now I don't know. So I'm just putting some adhesive on the first one. And then I got a little bit of adhesive sticking out the side. I'm just going to fold it back with my finger. So I really wanted some on the far edge. That way to ensure that little fold line on the envelope piece, the former envelope, isn't going to negatively impact my card. There we go. And it just kind of gives, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but just kind of gives a neat little look to it. Yes. About checking it. How did someone make that card? Yep. There are so many creative people out there. It's unbelievable what people come up with. And I'm just going to make sure this direction is correct in case someone actually takes effort to see the pattern matches. So I also made sure when I trimmed off the edge to get down to 5 inches that I kept it consistent in case I want that nice flow. This one I really love. This one's nice too, but it's not the same. Yep, just making sure it still looks the way I think it's the way it's supposed to look. So I was doing some planning recently with, you know, it's the new, okay, it's not quite the new year. It feels like the new year for me. For me, it's new everything. It's the, you know, new job, new life. But I was doing some planning on, because acknowledging, crafting wise, I'm going to be a little more busy than normal with work and just exhaustion, because I think my work project's going to go on a lot longer than I intended. So I was looking at what am I going to do for business progression. And when I realized if I try to make one card a day only, that's only 365 cards next year. And that's assuming I actually make one a day. So for example, with myself making the original plant 300 Christmas packets, that's an entire year's worth of work when you think about it. So it gave me a thought of, okay, well, I need to think about that a little more. So there we go. Yeah, I'm not so much loving the crumb cake, but I'm going to go with it. But at least with these, I may be able to work with it somehow. So I'm just going to stick around for a few minutes longer. I'm not doing full on coloring. I just want to see what I have access to. Now, I might have a secret weapon. I've got two possibilities. I have here crushed curry, which might kind of go. I also have, I got pecan pie, but it's more like a brown. I have a knockoff color here. It's not really a knockoff, but that can kind of go. And I also have some other pencils. Okay, apparently something's moving somewhere. I guess the doodles are up to something. I also have a brown. Now this, oh yeah, I'm off camera. Sorry, looking at pencils. Yep. Now that's a good start. Those two colors. But I have a secret weapon. I'm pretty sure I do. And I'm gonna laugh if I don't. I'm gonna laugh anyway. Now, in case you haven't realized, Stampin' Up! Has markers. And I don't use them often. I really don't. I really should. Part of why I don't use them often is, first of all, I have to buy them. That's a little bit of a challenge. Now, why I'm bringing is I actually have crumb cake. Ta-da! Ta-da! I got crumb cake. So you know what? I'm going to use the markers on one of these and to make a decision. So, yeah, I love our markers. I don't use them enough. This holds all the markers I have, which I don't have that many. I have a good batch here, but I don't use them enough. And what I don't like about our markers, especially with the larger ones, you can only buy them in sets of 2. So you have to buy the 2 crumb cakes to get a light in the dark. So it's not something I utilize often, but they are really, really fun. So I'm going to put the pencils aside. So then, now the downside is with the lettering, this is going to be fun. So I might butcher one of these. I'm going to start with the light crumb cake. Now with these markers, we got 2 points. I won't be able to describe what they are. like a brush thing and a nib thing. So I'm just going to go with the nib. And this is the light crumb cake. And if you're with it, and they're blendable too, which is super, super cool. Ooh, oh my god. Okay, Kitty, in the new year, I need to get more markers. Oh my god. Because I could always use the pencils to do the shadow. Oh my god. Okay, my wish list is getting bigger. Seriously. Oh my god. The downside of being in love with arts and crafts. I know I said I was going to go, but you see how quick this is versus using colored pencils? Okay, something's sticky here. I don't know. Something's bugging me. Maybe it's my hand. Oh my god. Okay, I get some more Stampin' Up! Markers. Doesn't that look good? I haven't even done the shadow yet. I might try the shadow with the darker. We'll give it a test run. And then I really will try to call it a night after I do a test run. Just to see how this, and I'm being very gentle and cautious here. Just to get that light crumb cake down. Oh my god. I gotta get more of these. I usually buy them when they're on clearance. I think these, I got them for a reason. I think Teresa had extras and I bought them off of her or something. Oh, for any of you dog lovers, I'm going to tease something. So, if you have the Doggone Friendly stamp set, it's the big stamp set with all the 35 plus dogs on it. Love that stamp. I'm not pulling it out, but it's nearby. I looked at the new online exclusives for January, and they're going to have a cat version of that same stamp set. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm not big on cats. I know I'm Color the Kitty, but because it is cats, now this... Okay, so it bled a lot more than I intended, but it still looks really, really good. I just gotta be a little more gentler with it. But it looks good. It's just, oh, look how, like, because it's thicker than what the line really is, it's really coming, okay, I gotta come in. And ideally try to be quick with your brush strokes or your marker strokes. Then you won't get so much of the bleed. And probably paper makes a difference too. Because remember, I cut a lot of these with scrap paper. Oh, you have it, do you? But there's the cat version coming out. I might even get it just for the heck of it. That way I've got the complete set. I've got the doggy and the cats. Yeah, that looks really, really good. And it's really popping on camera, isn't it? But hard to do because the marker feels so thick. We do sell thinner markers, but they're not quite the same, I think. And I don't know if they have it in this color, to be honest. Because like I said, I haven't really got into the Stampin' Up! Markers too much. And you can smell it too when you're working with it. There we go. Wow. That super pops. You know what? I'm going to finish these two cards. And yes, it bleeds through, FYI. That's the downside of alcohol-based markers. But that super pops. I'm going to do this with the markers already. You're not into cats. Yeah, I hear you. But it is really, really cute stamp set. I might just get it for the sake of I have cats and dogs. So, yeah. Oh, you're allergic? I probably am. I have no idea. Anyway, so there is a sample of what this card is going to look like. Now, imagine when I do awesome with the same color letters as that. I think that's going to really make it pop. Let's look at the other one too, because this is more of a nicer version. Oh god, yeah, that's going to look really, really good. Anyway, so there we go. I'm so calling it a night, everyone, because I'm going to color on my own, and then I might go to bed, or I might not. But I gotta get some markers. Alright, night everyone. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Bye.